Hi, today in reading we're going to be reading a book called You'll Wake the Baby by Catherine Jinks, and it's illustrated by Andrew McLean. We are going to be focusing on making predictions. We make predictions before we read a text or a book, during the reading, and even after. You can still make predictions about what you think will happen after the book's finished. We use clues such as the pictures and also the writing, and also what you already know from your own experiences or what it may have already happened in the text. So just remembering, predicting is a bit like guessing what's going to happen next or happen in the story. Today we're going to practice using a little strategy we use in class a lot: think, turn and talk. So take a little bit of time to think about what might happen in the story, and then once you've done that, turn to someone or tell someone what you think will happen in the story. Remember to look at the pictures, think about the title, You'll Wake the Baby, and think about what you already know. How did you go? Let's read it. Let's read the story and find out what's it called. You'll Wake the Baby. It was a rainy morning. Andy and Annie were playing inside. They were playing Monster Wars. Andy was the green monster and Annie was the purple monster. But they were making too much noise. Shh, said Mum. You'll wake the baby. Andy and Annie stopped being monsters. Then Annie had an idea. Let's play wild animals, she said. I'll be the lion and you can be a zebra. Zebras don't make much noise. But when Annie jumped on top of him, Andy forgot he was a zebra and he screamed like a chimpanzee. What do you think might happen next? Shh, said Mum. You'll wake the baby. You must be as quiet as mice. Mice, she exclaimed. We can be mice. But first they had to find skipping ropes for tails and pipe cleaners for whiskers. They also had to make themselves as small as possible. Squeak, squeak, said Annie. Squeak, squeak, said Andy. Meow, said Pumpkin. Okay, it's time to make another prediction. So we need to think about what we already know, use the pictures and the writing to help us make a prediction. So have a little bit of a think. What might happen next? Turn to someone and tell them what you think is going to happen next. And then we'll see what happens next. Look out, cried Annie. It's a cat. Squeak, squeak, Andy screamed. Run for your life before it eats us. Did you predict that? Good work if you did. Shh, hissed Mum. You'll wake the baby. She sighed and then said, why don't we all have morning tea? While they were having milk, fruit and cupcakes, Mum said, if the baby doesn't get enough sleep, she'll be very cranky, and so will I. Why don't you play schools, she suggested. You can draw pictures and read each other's stories. Just don't do anything too loud. Andy and Annie liked playing school. They put their little chairs in a row and set up the blackboard. Mum gave them some coloured chalk. "I'll be the teacher," said Andy, "and I'll tell you what to do." "No," said Annie, "I'll be the teacher and I'll tell you what to do." They had a fight. "Shh," snapped Mum. "You'll wake the baby." She put the blackboard away, but let them keep their books. "No more school," she said. "Just read quietly." And she left the room, closing the door behind her. Andy looked at Annie. "I've read all my books," he said. "Isn't there something else we can do quietly?" "I know," murmured Annie. "Clouds are quiet. Let's play clouds." They got pillows from their bedroom and tied them around their tummies with skipping ropes. Andy and Annie floated around softly like tufts of cotton wool until they bumped into a thunderstorm. Oh no, they bumped into a thunderstorm. What could possibly happen next? Let's make a prediction. So think about what you think will happen next using the pictures, clues, words, and then tell someone. What do you think is going to happen next? Let's see. "Whoosh," said Annie. "The wind is blowing me away." "Whoosh," said Andy. "It's blowing me too." And it blew so strongly that they bounced off the living room walls. "Shh," cried Mum. "You'll wake the baby." This time she took their pillows away. "If you make any more noise, there'll be no more playing with anything." "What do we do now?" Andy whispered. "There's nothing quieter than clouds, is there?" "Yes," Annie replied, "there is." Sneaking on tippy toes, they took quilts from the bed and chairs from the dining room. They built a deep, dark cave. "We'll be hibernating bears," Annie said, "asleep for the winter." Andy and Annie crawled into their cave, where they curled up snugly, just like bears. They were very, very quiet. Okay, in a minute, what I'd like you to do is press pause, because what we're going to do is it's time to stop and make another prediction. This time, I'd like you to draw and write about what you think might happen next in your scrapbook. So I've modelled to the right a little what I've done, but I think you guys could do a little bit better. So draw a picture what you think is going to happen, maybe label it, and then write a sentence about what you think might happen. Or just draw a picture and try labeling it. That would be fine too. Have a go, and once you've done that, explain it to an adult or someone else who might be working with you today, like maybe an older brother or sister, and then press play and watch the rest of the video. They were so good at being hibernating bears, they fell asleep. They didn't even notice when Mum gently took the cave away. And they didn't even notice when Dad carried them into their bedroom. or when Mum tucked them into bed. Andy and Annie didn't even notice when from deep inside her little white cot, the baby gave an enormous, ear-rattling yell. "Shh," said Mum. "You'll wake the children." How did you go? Did you find that easy? Well, did you get it right? The more you practice, the better you'll get at predicting. And remember to use the pictures, the words, and what you already know to help you do it. So, for a bit of a reflection, what I thought we might do is I want you to think of something you did well. Maybe you did use the pictures or use the words and use what you already knew to make a prediction. And then what I'd like you to do is post that in the comments down below so we can see how you went. So it's a bit of a reflection. How did you go with your predicting? Make a comment, and look forward to seeing how everyone went. Thank you. Bye.